Hey everyone, welcome to my first Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes gameplay video. In this first video, I would like to just touch upon some tips for some of the newer players out there. I myself got into the game pretty late. I was laying in bed and came across the app in the App Store and just sort of downloaded it without knowing what the game was about and what kind of game it was. I just saw that it was Star Wars and thought I'd give it a try, and I've been playing it daily since. And made a lot of mistakes along the way, and hoping to maybe touch upon some of those so that someone that's just getting into the game now or recently can maybe avoid some of the things that I did early on. Put me in some bad spots. Okay, so the first thing I would recommend is that you log into the game daily for two things. The first would be to obtain your daily login reward. By logging into the game client once a day, you will get a free gift. It can range from anything to a piece of gear, a set of crystals, training droids, credits, character shards. So can't beat free, and you don't actually have to do anything but open the game client to get this. Very quick, very easy. So, yeah, make sure you do that. Second thing would be to complete all your daily activities. If on a particular day you are short on time to play, at the very least, try to get these set of tasks done. For what you're doing and what you're getting from it, you really can't beat it. So again, I stress that those are two very, pretty much the basics of what you want to get done each and every day. Okay, so you've obtained your daily login rewards, and you've completed your daily activities. The first, or one of the first, critical decisions that you will need to make is how to spend the resources that you're obtaining in the game. And the first thing I want to touch upon is the currency that you'll get from the different battle modes in the game. So, for example, the Galactic War battle mode, as you progress through the board each day, you will obtain war tokens that can be spent on character shards. So what I've seen players do is they'll pick up enough shards to unlock the character, and then they'll just move on to a different character. So maybe they end up with a couple of weaker characters when you're looking at it in the long run, rather than having something that can really kind of compete all the way through the end game. For myself, and what I would highly recommend anyone watching is zero in on one character and just truck them to 7-star as fast as you can. And I chose Captain Phasma. I got her to 7-star. And I know Lumi is another really powerful option. Probably the more popular option, at least from what I've seen on the forums. I'm working on her now, getting her to 7-star. But yeah, choose one and just commit all your resources to it. So the same concept applies to the squad arena. As you participate in arena matches, you will get awarded arena tokens, depending on where you fall in the rankings, and those tokens can be spent on character shards again. I chose Darth Sidious. I think that's probably by and far the most popular option on this list. It may fall off at some point in the endgame, depending on the type of team you're putting together, but through the early, mid, and I would say even late game, it is a very viable option for pretty much anything you're doing in the game. So, committing all your resources to 7-star him would be, I'd say that's a pretty sound decision, and then after that, move on to something else. I've been fortunate to been very competitive in the arena. So I have Darth Sidious 7-starred, Akbar 7-starred, and I'm working on Savage now. Want to test some things with him. And the last game mode would be the Cantina battles. So same concept, you complete these battles, you obtain credits, which can again then be spent on character shards. I ended up choosing Poe, and I really lucked out here, because I chose Poe simply because I liked him in the movie. I thought his character was very likable, and picked him solely based on that. and it turns out he ends up being a very powerful arena character to have, and he's come in handy quite a bit, so yeah, I really lucked out with that. And last part here is the actual Cantina battles themselves. So these battles give you the ability to win or have a chance at winning a character shard. I chose Battle 4C, the Kylo Ren, and I did nothing but 4C. Once I had unlocked all the battles, at my current level, I put all of my resources into trying to get as many shards as possible from him. So once you run out of stamina, you have the option to use crystals to restore stamina. And the baseline is 100 crystals. And then once you've spent those 100 crystals, then you have to spend 200 and then 400. The cost of the crystals resets every day. So right now I've spent 2 refreshes. So tomorrow, when I go back to do this, it will be 100 crystals again. I think most people opt to do 1 refresh for the Cantina battles. I've opted to do 2 to help with obtaining shards and to rank up a little bit faster. Also to have a chance at winning these ability materials as well. Okay, so you have somewhat of a plan in place as to which heroes that you'll be going after, and another aspect of resource management that I'd like to touch upon is the use of training droids and ability materials. So in the beginning in the game, when you start off with a small pool of heroes, you really have no choice but to invest in all of them. But as you begin to add characters to your stable of heroes, you'll be tempted to level them all at once, and you're going to find very quickly that you won't have the training droids, the credits, or if you're trying to gear them up as well, you just won't have enough to go around without spending lots and lots of real money to make that happen. So what I would recommend is that you pick a very small handful of heroes, either that you really enjoy playing or that are considered to be some of the more powerful heroes in the game, and invest like your gear, your training droids, all in them. So you'll notice that even with being ranked 66 right now, I have stopped leveling pretty much most of my heroes. I've just focused on a small handful and make sure that I have enough droids and credits to level them all as I rank up. Another big mistake that I made is ability materials. So ability materials allow you to make your attacks and abilities stronger. So on the left here with Onslaught, I thought that's all you needed. So I thought, all right, if I have 16 of the green thing and 13 of the blue thing, I'm good to go. But if you scroll down, you'll see that you need ability material 3. That's the purple one. So I must have lucked out and just gotten a lot of the 3s in the beginning, probably through Cantina battles or whatever, and ended up just throwing him at all sorts of characters, and I was like, is the game bugged? Why can't I upgrade this? And I'm still sort of paying for it, because you can see, some of my main characters like Sidious, they don't have some of their abilities fully maxed. So that's something I would really watch out for, is hold on, make sure, it's particularly anything that uses a 3, just make sure you scroll down and you know what you're spending and what's required. That way your resources are going to things that are actually going to be valuable for you in the long run. So Keep those two things in mind. Okay, so I talked earlier about refreshing my Cantina stamina. Specifically that I was refreshing it twice to obtain Kylo Ren shards. Once he had reached 7 stars, I actually went back to refreshing my stamina once a day because there was really nothing super interesting, at least to me, in these 5 levels. You can see that at level 69 another stage unlocks, and I believe it has Barris and Dooku shards, so I will most likely go back to refreshing twice a day once I get to that point there. But with getting 500 crystals a day from Arena, spending 100 of them to get some XP, to get some Cantina credits to spend on shipments, having a chance to get some character shards through the levels themselves, and a chance to get some ability materials, I felt like, at least right now, that's a reasonable cost. Now, as far as light side and dark side battles, stamina usage for those, what I am doing right now is trying to get shards for this guy. So the way hard modes work is you can play them 3 times a day. If you want to play them any more than 3 times, you do need to spend crystals to refresh, and I've never done that. I don't think I ever will. But yeah, the way this is set up for me, though, is this takes care of all of my hard side battle dailies, the light side and the dark side. However, I will throw this in there that this is a very unreliable way to try to get shards for a character. So we're talking 6 chances at a character shard a day. There's days where I get 4, and there have been multiple days in a row where I didn't get any. So it's very dicey at best and very, very frustrating because some of these levels they're pretty expensive. I believe these are 16 stamina each to run, so they're not cheap. And so again, if you can help it, don't try to use hard modes to get character shards. But I mean, if you're kind of desperate for them, get ready to spend a lot of crystals. So after that, I pretty much just gear up my core 5 or 6 heroes, try to get them fully up to date with every piece of gear that they can get. Sidious and Poe are missing an item right now. They're actually missing the same item, unfortunately, so this thing needs like 50 of this item. So I'll just look at where it drops and just spam sim tickets to get the item and then refresh my stamina. Get more, just rinse and repeat until I don't want to spend crystals to refresh anymore. And that's pretty much what I'm doing with my light and dark side battles. I think tonight I'll hit level 67 after dailies, and that'll unlock the dark side levels, or the next stage of dark side levels. So I am kind of slowly building my stamina back up so I can tackle those levels, save myself a refresh. And yeah, that's pretty much my daily routine right now as far as stamina usage goes for both Cantina and light side and dark side battles. Alright, so one thing that gets asked a lot is, should I spend my crystals on chromium packs or should I spend them on refreshing my stamina? So you'll find that a lot of people say that the chromium packs are not worth it, with good reason. Let me just give you an example here. Let's say you're relatively new to the game, so pretty low level, and you saved up some crystals to open a couple packs, and you open one up. And let's say you get Old Ben. I believe he starts at 4 stars. Pretty awesome character. But as you start to rank up, and in particular if you start to fight in arena, and as you get higher in rank and level, and your competition is fully 7-starred across the board, then really the only way to unlock the full potential of a hero like this would be to go back into the shop and buy more packs, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get him ever again. So essentially, you are paying real money to try to star up your heroes, and you may have to spend a lot to make that happen. So in most cases, I think for most people who are trying to maybe cut their spending or play this on a budget, you'll be better off using your crystals on stamina refreshes. I'm sure for some of you veterans who have seen a little bit of my hero pool, when I first started, I didn't spend anything because I didn't know anything about the game. I didn't know whether I'd keep playing. I didn't know if I'd like it or not. And after a couple weeks, I was pretty hooked, and I do play some other mobile games. I have no problem, doing some in-app purchases and whatnot. And I had a stockpile of some iTunes cards and some Visa gift cards that I used, and so I got really, really lucky. I didn't even know Qui-Gon was good when I got him, but I got him like 4 times in an 8-pack before, and I just got really lucky with some of these shards. Some of them were pretty unlucky as well, because again, you don't know what you're gonna get, but that is a huge gamble. So unless you were gonna at least get several packs, it's probably best to just save your crystals for refreshes. So yeah, that's I think the common consensus within the community when it comes to it. Okay, so another thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was talking about the squad arena battle mode is you may want to save your arena battles until closer to when the prize is awarded to everyone. Because what you'll find is if at midnight you decide, I'm going to do all my dailies, including all my arena matches, and you're thinking, okay, well, I've got, this rating and I should be good to go. And then once the prize is awarded, you find that you've dropped in rank severely. So that happened to me, I think, a couple of times, and I'm like, I'm not really having that no more. So the only daily that I don't complete around midnight is the arena matches. I typically wait until closer to the when the prize is awarded, and then I start my ladder climb back up. One thing to note is that when you are fighting someone, someone else cannot choose to battle you, and vice versa. So even if you're not in an arena match, if someone has chosen to fight your team, you actually cannot queue for an arena match until the match is completed. So it gets that is actually part of the strategy of obtaining a higher rank. So you climb your ladder, and at 6 o'clock p.m. for me locally, that's when the prizes are given out. I will want to be engaged in a battle against someone at my current rank as the prize is being given out, or right before it's awarded. I'm trying to overtake the spot. So it comes down to a lot of button mashing or screen mashing, because you're trying to this guy in particular here, the guy who's number 2, he's very active when the prizes are about to be given out, so we're usually just mashing each other, trying to either lock each other out or secure the top rank. So keep that in mind, that it's probably best to save your arena matches closer to the prize window if you're looking to climb the ladder and then keep your spot. Another thing, I guess, to consider is maybe spending the crystals to get some more arena matches in. So I don't know why this is so slow today, but the game is not cooperating. But I'll just start talking about what I'm going to go into here. So I'm rank 1. I usually finish rank 1, rank 2. But over the course of the day, I may get knocked back down to rank 11, something like that. And you'll notice that rank 11, 200 crystals, 775 arena tokens, 30,000 credits. It's really the crystals, though. Well, let's say I ran out of arena matches and I needed crystals to refresh, and if by spending 50 I was able to jump up to the point where I would not only get my 50 back, but I would get more crystals on top of that, then I would probably say it's something worth considering. So if you are maybe even much lower than that, let's say your rank, I don't know, 500, and you think you could maybe jump up a few spots with spending the crystals and getting your crystals back and getting some more on top of that, then I would definitely think it's worth it until you can consistently kind of fight in that top tier. So, something to consider. I forgot to mention it earlier. Okay, so the last thing I want to go over are the light side and dark side battles, specifically just the approach that I took to them. One thing you'll find as a new player, you'll probably get used to just having a really nice healer early on and access to more of them. And so the light side battles, as you go through the different stages, quickly become a war of attrition. So no matter how much damage you're taking, you'll be able to heal through it at some point and chip away until you actually win the battle. And I think stage 7, normal and hard, I went through it all in one go. Didn't lose a single character, one shot every battle, normal, hard. It was very, very easy. The setup I used, typically, I think it was a friend healer. So I either used a friend Barris or a friend Lumi. And back there. Expect Barris. Okay. And I used 3 attackers, 1 healer, 1 tank. So I probably didn't even need the tank. The tank was just insurance for a taunt. But yeah, just Qui-Gon, Lando, left him at level 60. Jedi Consular, because I don't have Lumi leveled in 7-starred yet. Leia, and oh, that was pretty much it. So if you carry that mindset where you're like, alright, I'm just used to healing through everything, and then you go play some of the harder dark side battles, that really isn't going to fly. You're going to find that just the toolkit some of the healers on the light side have don't really there's just nothing like that available for the dark side. So with dark side battles, I would typically run 1 healer. I think most people just run Talia at first, but I replaced her with old Daka. Random person here. So the mentality that you go into these fights is to kill as quickly as possible. So on that first turn, you want to kill as many things so there won't be as many enemies shooting back at you when it's their turn. And I don't think I've ever run more than 1 healer for a dark side squad. I just go into that mentality that I am just going to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. And Daka is pretty sweet. One is she has the ability to stun, and Phasma can actually, you know, proc any one of the team members to attack. So there's times where she may stun like 3 people in a single turn. So I would say if you have a chance to get her, she's obtainable through Cantina credit shipments. I would highly recommend replacing Talia using old Daka if you're having trouble with some of these levels. She's also pretty good for Arena. I know some people use her. I don't. I just don't run any healers for Arena. But for the actual campaign missions, she's been very, very nice to have around. So I think that's really it. So yeah, thanks for watching my first Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. If you found any of the information to be helpful, please throw me a like or subscribe or whatever, and leave a comment. Or if I didn't do a great job, I'm sure, again, for some of the veteran prayers, I don't think you guys probably got anything from this, and that's okay. It really was geared towards new players and hopefully encouraging them not to make some of the same mistakes that I did. And yeah, if there's enough of a response, I may just create some more videos of some of the gameplay and additional tactics that I've used and sort of learned through experience here. So yeah, that's it. Thanks again, everyone. And I will, till next time, take care.